We welcome each and every one of you to the inaugural program of the Mahila Jansunwai. We would also like to extend a special welcome to our Madam Akokla, member of the State Women Commission, and officials from line departments as well as other supporting institutions such as One Stop Center, Women Helpline, Shakti Sadan, and DHEW, officials from the Women Police Station, our members from the DDS, from the legal community, and from the colony chairpersons, stakeholders, and all other invitees and public, warmly welcome you to the Mahila Jansunwai inaugural program. Just a brief about this is just brief about what it is. I'm sure our ma'am will give more highlight and into the details of what this will be about. But basically, Jan means people, Sunwai is a hearing. So it is to come to the grassroots levels and then hear the grievances, especially that is related to the problems that is faced by women, including harassment or domestic violence or any of the sort, so that we have a group of stakeholders that are able to come and listen to the problems and address the grievances. But of course, this is the first time for our not only district but also the state. So we are just holding it first of all to brief about what it is, and so that next time onwards we'll have more people. So when we say public hearing, we are concerned about our privacy and all, but this is a completely, when they hear the cases, it is going to offer them privacy also. So that is another thing I think ma'am will explain more in detail, but for our purposes, so that our stakeholders are able to get a grasp of what the Jansunwai is all about, so that this can be shared to the grassroots level, so that next time we have such hearings, we will have more people, as in women in this district, they can come up by themselves and seek to address their grievances directly, because all the possible stakeholders are there in the Jansunwai. So they will be, instead of going door to door seeking for justice and grievances, they are able to address like a fast track address of their issues. So this is just in brief about what this Jansunwai is about. But today we also have the opportunity to hear from all the supporting departments that are related to the women issues. We'll be hearing reports from them as well. So that's also the highlight of today's program. And without further ado, on behalf of Dimapur district, we would like to welcome again once our ma'am with a token of our appreciation. So if you can just accept a small bouquet side.
With the presentation. I'm going to make a brief presentation about Sakhi One Stop Center. Sakhi One Stop Center is an initiative of the Ministry of Women and Child Development implemented by the Department of Social Welfare. The objective of One Stop Center is to provide, to support women who are affected by violence in private and public spaces within the family, community, and at the workplace. Women facing physical, sexual, emotional, psychological, and economic abuse, irrespective of their age, caste, race, and culture, can seek assistance at One Stop Center. The type of services provided by One Stop Center are emergency response and rescue service. OSC will provide rescue and referral services to women who are affected by violence. Medical assistance, women affected by violence will be administered first aid by a paramedic who is available at One Stop Center, and then the victim can be referred to the nearest hospital for medical aid and examination. Assistance to women in lodging FIR and DIR. OAC will facilitate the lodging of FIR and domestic incident reports. Psychosocial support. A counselor will be available at One Stop Center for counseling. Legal aid and legal counseling. Legal aid cases will be referred to their respective district legal service authorities. Video conferencing facilities to enable victims to record statements and ensure their privacy and avoid re-traumatization. This facility is also available at One one-stop center. Temporary shelter for up to emergency or temporary shelter for up to 5 days, which is 5 bedded. So how can a woman access one-stop center? By herself, she can walk to the one-stop center, she can call one-stop center, or she can by social media or by any means she can contact one-stop center. She can also be referred by women helpline and other helplines. It can also be referred by public servants, relatives, friends, NGOs, volunteers, public spirited citizens, Angawali workers, or frontline workers. So this is the total number of cases we received from inception till date. One-stop center Dimapur was established in the year 2016. In 2016 to 17 we received 12 cases. 2017 to 18 we received 25 cases. 18 to 19, 70 cases. 19 to 20, 66 cases. 20 to 21, 72 cases. 21 to 22, 107 cases. 22 and 23, 112 cases. 23 to 24, 60 cases. 24 to 25, 102 cases. 25 to 26, there is still Feb 2026, we received 90 cases. So these are the type of cases that we received. Domestic violence, total 159 cases, rape 12 cases, sexual offense, assault or harassment 22 cases, trafficking 29 cases, missing, kidnapping, abduction, runaway 252 cases, cybercrime 22 cases, abandoned or distressed women 176 cases, any other form, it can be mentally challenged clients or some clients with suicidal tendency, or some cases where evacuation is required, and those amount to 22 cases. So total number of cases from inception till date is 716 cases. This is the case data for last annual year. So as you can see, the numbers written there. So these are some of the awareness activities that we have conducted over the years. Some workshops, attended some workshops, organized some programs, and also attended some trainings. So this is all, and this is our address.
Now I will straight away go to my topic. I will not say the rights and all, as I said, I will just say pertaining to what is applicable. Now the law aims to ensure women can lead lives of dignity and equality in society, at home, and even at workplace. Now there are certain rights, but the most important rights which women has been, empowered is that we have a protection of women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. There we have four types of violence. One is physical violence and emotional and verbal violence. We have economic violence and sexual violence. So like later, I don't want to elaborate so much, but later if you want to ask how to file, where to file, what are how is the aggrieved person, what are the entitlement of the aggrieved person, or how is the aggrieved person given the, how will I say, those are the things that we can come in the later part, how to file and, okay, that is one thing. Now the other thing is like sexual harassment of women at workplace. Act 2013, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act, in other words, is also known as the POSH Act. So there are also so many things to be covered under POSH Act. There are certain requirements. There are also appointment of an ICC, that is the Internal Content Committee, the concerned organizations, departments. That also will come to it later. I don't think so. I have to elaborate on that later. I'll elaborate it later. And now the other thing is like we have all those rights of family and property, will come later, workplace and education, maternity benefit, right education. Now coming to the other important rights, that is known as right to free legal aid. We also provide free legal services to those weaker section or non-focused section of the society, which is under Article 29A of the Indian Constitution. So free legal services is provided to those people whose annual income is less than 1 lakh. So that is one thing. Now, the provision of arresting women in Nagaland. So now, in India, regarding the free legal aid, I will not elaborate more. If you want to ask any questions pertaining to this free legal aid, then we will come to it on the later part. Now, in order to switch on fast, now provision of arresting women in India. Now, rights of a woman at time of arrest. If a woman is arrested, she has a specific right, including the right to be informed of the grounds for her arrest, to have a legal practitioner, to have a female officer conduct researches not to be arrested between sunset and sunrise without a valid warrant and judicial permission, to inform family, friends, and not to be manhandled. She also has the right to be located at a residence and must be separated from male detainees. Now, time of arrest. A woman cannot be arrested between sunset and sunrise except under special circumstances with judicial permission. Now, the grounds for arrest. She must be informed for the reason of arrest. A woman also should be informed. She also has the right to be informed of the grounds of her being arrested and why is she arrested. Now, warrant for arrest. She also has the right to ask and see the warrant if there is any warrant issued against her or not. Simply verbally when arrest a woman is also not applicable, not allowed. So, a warrant has to be there stating that she has been issued a warrant pertaining to certain offences that a woman has committed. Now, bail. She also has the right to inform of her rights to bail. A woman also has the right to get on bail. No manhandling. She has the right to free from manhandling and excessive force. Now, during interrogation and search, a woman cannot be called to the police station for interrogation. Questioning must take place at their residence in the presence of a female police officer and family members. And the search has to be done only by the female police officer. Any search can be conducted by a female police officer to ensure inquiry. Now, separate custody. A woman must be kept in a separate women's lockup. Now, we also have a victim compensation and NASA scheme. So, for those who have victims and all, that also will come in another part, how to apply or who are eligible to apply and what are the documents required to apply for victim compensation. So, I think I went a little bit faster, but there are lot of notes I prepared, but anyways, I'll hand it over to them and maybe on the later part, if you have any queries or questions, then we can, discuss during that time. Thank you all for your patience, Mary.
Alright, Mission, I'm the Women Helpline Administrator. I've been in the field for the last 10 and more years. Everybody, when we introduce Mission Shakti Protection. So let me also, before I begin, Mission Shakti the key ase, thank you, organizers, for this beautiful time to share some insight. Maikihan helpline. Those 10 and more years helpline to thagi ase Nagaland. So itla insight ki ase it is shared to the time diya and for this gathering. We really appreciate the initiative. Mission Shakti, like I say, it ki ase it's a initiative of the government, of the central government, of the Ministry of Women and Child Development, district explain. So it aims at strengthening interventions, making safety, security, making empowerment, making empowerment mission. So it aims, it seeks to realize the government's commitment. Government making commitment. The commitment to make women-led development. Half of the population, almost half of the population of Maiki. So half to suppress fail. We are not against male colleagues or the gender male. This is the setup. This is the issue. We are bringing it up on the table to highlight so that we figure out how do we go about to achieve the goal of the government's commitment of the women-led development. So women-led development, the mission tries to facilitate, redress, Mahila lifetime, ekala boom de beti bachao beti padhao Mahila sex discriminate abortion begin. Nagaland something like that, but yes, surprisingly, and we feel bitter that it is there, prevalent in our state, abortion. It's a hard reality, but it is happening. So it will not say, a lot of people tell us, especially in the far-flung districts, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, this is an Indian scheme, this is an Indian notion, this is an Indian concept. We don't need it in Nagaland kind of thing, but this is definitely applicable. So, itu Maikihan from womb to tomb, Maikihan duk diktade ahya, Maikihan violence by inflict huja, Maikihan discriminate huja because of the suppressive sex. Women are considered as weak wala, komti wala, because of the fact social welfare in the state implement করে so তাদের কি আছে বলে না মাইকি খানকে equal partners in the nation building না মাইকি খান nation building এর মোতাহান মধ্যে equally partner করি না কিনা মহান invest করব কিনা আগে যাব for empowerment and development for all so coming to the mission Shakti it talks about two components like I say empowerment तो one mission Shakti de ki koe samarthya तो samarthya de edu kinina empower koro bole we have schemes and programs like hubs for empowerment of women state te ase state hub ase our district in all the 17 districts district hub for empowerment of women idu la office man deputy commissioner's office te attach korina idu office to ase then we have Sakhi was working women hostel maiki han cities te ahe kaam kore then affordable na hoi jay Dimapur for many because one payment bit komti ase na idu karone rent house no hone so other family members na lage so other relatives na lage so far flung areas kan da pura kamai or komti ase tahan ge itu la facility working women in the form of working women hostel minimum payment dina tahan tare thagi pare aru Dimapur china urban areas se aina kaam kori mane tahan pare bishi friendly ho jay next we have Shakti Sadan now when we initially started in the year 2016 you know to our surprise so many women flung inside the office and so on now the next question was all right we have a lot of cases of violence against women no to ko jao my no because they're looking for shelter they're looking for assistance this that we have the one stop center first one stop center in Nagaland Dimapur only one stop center with a limitation of 5 days and extended here and there so government they introduced so we've been demanding proposing the department has been tirelessly working over this last 9 to 10 years to bring this Shakti Sadan it's a long-term shelter home
Since a lot of people are not aware of Shakti Sadan, so I'll just give a brief description of what Shakti Sadan actually is. So Shakti Sadan is an integrated relief and rehabilitation home for women as a one-stop center, and also ma'am has mentioned that Shakti Sadan is a long-stay shelter home for women. So the target groups for Shakti Sadan is women in distress, such as trafficked women, victims of domestic violence, and women in difficult circumstances. So women seeking for shelter for a long stay can Shakti Sadan here. So the services provided in Shakti Sadan are basic food, clothing, and shelter. And we also provide the one-stop center provide additional services like counseling, and we provide basic medical health care for the women. So mother with child, both boys and girls can come and stay in our shelter home. And for boys, up to 12 years. The boys should be up to 12 years. But for women, there's no age limit. But mother can come with a child. So we also provide vocational trainings like knitting or depending on their interests, we teach them how to do math and teach them English as well. And we assist with opening bank accounts, Chandan account, because the government assists them in providing financial support of ₹500 every month, monthly, for their clients. And we also assist with ID creation. If they don't have an Aadhaar card or any ID, we assist them in creating an ID card as well for the clients. And all services are being provided in order to help women to start a new life, to reintegrate in the society. Our Shakti Sadan is a rehabilitation shelter home for women, but it is not just a place of safety home. It is a place for new beginnings. It is protective home created for women and girls who have faced difficult and vulnerable situations. And every resident, every client is welcome with dignity, confidentiality, care, and compassion. And at Shakti Sadan, our focus is not only on providing shelter or basic necessities, but on helping each woman rebuild their confidence, because they have faced so many different situations that we cannot talk about. And like I've mentioned, we offer counseling, legal guidance, medical support, life skills, training and opportunities for education and livelihood. Through these services, we aim to support survivors as they heal from trauma, and it is a reminder that every woman deserves safety and respect. And Shakti Sadan is more than a home, and it believes in the power of a second chance for women, because they lose hope, right? So, currently, we, as Mem has also mentioned, that after so much of requests, we started functioning from last year in the month of July. So far we have 3 clients. So the first client, which was a mother and a child, she has been discharged already. So that is a success story from our shelter home. We observed that she was confident enough and independent enough to work for herself and to earn for herself. So she was discharged. We found her a job in a private home for domestic help. So the owner agreed to take care of her and the child as well. So till now she's doing fine. And the second client was being transferred from Kohima Shakti Sadan to Dimapur Shakti Sadan for a change of environment. So no comparison, but she's doing so much better in Dimapur. Like her personality-wise, character-wise, and everything she's become so confident, and now she wants to come out of Shakti Sadan and she wants to earn for herself. She wants to generate income. And also the last client that we have, they are here with us for around 6 months now. And the last client she came pregnant, now she has a baby. She's still with the baby. She will be discharged soon. So some of the vocational trainings that we had was knitting. They knitted socks. So we encouraged them to learn something and then generate income from that. So the directorate, they purchased all the socks, and then because in order to encourage the clients that when you do something with hard work, when you do something with dedication, then you will get something from it. So that is what they learned. So they were so encouraged to do that. So that's what our clients are actually doing now. And in the flyer as well, we have mentioned our address, which is in Balapupuri, Block 2, Lane 4. We have added our phone numbers and our email IDs. So if there is any women suffering from all these problems, then you can either contact One Stop Center. There's a women helpline number as well, 181, or you can directly contact us. And yeah, this is all for the welfare of women. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's.
I want to clarify one thing. This is just an inaugural program that we are having. Okay, Mahila Jansunwai is actually a hearing. So it is a hearing. We were going from districts to districts for hearing actually. But since it is the first time the first time mungkin Korea say itu karena all awareness dibule. Kiki facilities ase for women rights, Mahila kiki ase itu kan infringe kori kena ase feel kori boleh do. So itu grievances kan loi kena Mahila Jansunwai buhat time de conduct kora time de ahi kena on the spot address kori boleh paribo. Itulah hisap de. So if we don't know our rights, we just sitting quietly, chupchap boi rahibo. Rights to janile to hai, mula rights to na infringe kori kena so koi kena itu justice besar kena jabo do. itu karone she necessary ase rights janibole laga karone. Okay, so now we are conducting this with Nagaland State Commission, that is us, with the initiative of National Commission for Women. Okay, with the collaboration with Dimapur District Administration, District Hub for Empowerment of Women, Mission Shakti, Department of Social Welfare and District Legal Services Authorities. All these are collaborating partners. Everyone out here are collaborating partners because we work with the civil societies also. We can't separate entities, separate affiliated bodies, 9 districts there. So we work with our women bodies here, everyone is present here, and our other civil society organizations. So that is very important. They are our ears, and our mouth. They can forward in the society. So a little bit on this Jansunwai. So this is to commemorate the International Women's Day 2026 that has the theme justice, rights, justice and action. So that is what we are doing. We're talking about rights. Okay, and we are trying to bring justice to your door, and that is our action. So, as you can see, that Women Commission at your doorstep, itu key meaning I will explain. Women Commission though, we are a statutory body. We have one chairperson. We are one of the smallest, Nagaland Commission to commission একটা chairperson আর দুইটা members আছে আজি today right now it was from 9 till 13 আছে 9 till 13 they all over India they simultaneously tuли আছে in so many districts, more than 500 districts there. That was the call from National Commission for Women Gurubule lage, to do this action. It's known to International Women's Day. Okay, so everyone is going to the districts. Today is the last day. Ajimo yate ase. I think someone asked me yesterday, ma'am, how many of you are coming? Then I said, me, only me. Only you too surprised now, because my chairperson is in Mon right now, and my other co-member is in Kohima. So iniga kurigina moikan. Tinjon ne ase. Mga tinjon in these 4 days. 5 days we have covered today 12 districts. That is the most we can do. We are only human. Mukan urigina jawale namare. Mga terrains kanto inika ase. Jawale ekdin, angle ekdin inika lage. But we plan to cover the other 5 districts also. But we will be wrapping up the call from the National Commission for Women today. So in time, because we have 2 pending cases in Kohima in our office, we do have give some priority to our own office work also. Ito lang kanila de, mga Women Commission to, mga statutory body ikta ase. We are a statutory body under the Nagaland Women Commissions Act 2006. So, mga naga ito, mga functions kore under that act. Ito functions kaso tatiki layout kuri naso mga ito tati function kore. Aro mga ke ito functions kurubole nimide mga ke powers di nase under section 6 of our act. That power is to hold court, a civil court. Okay, we can try suits of civil nature, and that will be equivalent to any other civil court in the state. So this court is coming to your doorstep. Mga cases huni, mga office de, ito ahiya se amni kan nogode. Dusra time dito ahirule lagi mga na office de cases kani. And yes, kwa nishina safest state ina ato koy. Holbi ija ekjon sob manu stakeholders ere ase. Sob manu everyone is working for the welfare of the women and for the society. Yate ina ase to. Ito karene we are collaborating with the district legal services, police kan ase, women police stations wala kan ase, production officers kan ase, women laga huna kan laga. Itu immediate hearing for complaints and registration. Mo yate boye kina cases. I am told that I have 3 cases today here. After this hearing, you will see in the program Jansunwai session. Okay, that will be my court hearing. I will be hearing the cases. if that will be done in private, because mukan manuhan, we don't, we really, ki kobo mukan na privacy to mukan protect kore, mukan itu rakhi bole munjai. That was one of our slight lapse, mukan na slight lapse wado public hearing ase. दूसरा जगह देखो भट्टा है क्या लोग अदालत जितना बोलेगी ना कि बोले मुझे कोई के लिए मत इतना तो मुहाना सोसाइटी जितना ना कम्प्लीट क्लोज नहीं करेगी आई तभी ऐसी करना प्रॉब्लम ठीक है आई के ना पब्लिक टे कुछ बोले तो काली तो हो जाए पूरा दिमापुर चली जाओ ना निशिना हो जाए तो शेयर को बोले मोन्ता है पब्लिक टे और दूसरा जगह तो इन्हें का शेयर करेगी ना आया से तो मुझे ना इन्हें पब्लिक हेयरिंग को लगा तो मुहान पे और पब्लिक भाभी पब्लिक हेयरिंग कुछ खुद आए वो मुहान नामा की खाली ना पब्लिक को ताको बोले so that we are also learning because it's the first time in our state, and then we intend to make it into a yearly event. So next year, Mahila Jansunwai here say Goshe now it is each and everyone's responsibility in this room to take it forward, and even the media to take it forward, that it is to address our women's grievances on the spot, okay, to provide swift redressal of their grievances. Itu ase. So, Parana I will be assisted by the legal team here. Directions will be given. Maybe someone will be needing restraining orders. Maybe someone will be needing police protections. We don't know. That is why sob ke mati na ase. Itu. Lagi she kushikole do bohibo. Immediate assistance pabo. Itu laga ase. Jansunwai do. So now, one of the factors why we are coming or reaching out is that we fear the naming and shaming, the stigma that comes with it. So we don't report. We can report nukura nimide. Yate kushi to na 2 lakh case phone call aishi already registered to 3,000. What percentage will that be? Minimal, I think, maybe not even 1%, 2%, 1%, lakhs 3,000 kushi. Imagine, there is a problem. So why is that happening? Ki huya se. Itu karane it is up to us to understand that muigan sob manu laga bhi golti ase itu. Kile mane muigan we are fascinated with the victim. Muigan iman fascinated as a victim logode that we don't stop talking about the victim at all. We will forget about the perpetrator. Jail de kushi si bhauri jaise kushi na dai de kushi jaise tumi dala muk ni dikhi do. Holibi victim ke do it's a fact. You will admit na ekta ini khuta ekta ama ekta rape motion na that 20 she is trying to move on and 20 years on like that. Her daughter is getting married. Hey, the time they do my revolution, we hold on like that. With itu moikan nachare de, itu karena moikan boy lagi de, victim kan ulagi na kota korole nile. Aru khali victim kehe no hai, ghor malu ki bhi nachare. Itu maki rep kushina tai laga phuni laga 50 to. Bhavina moikan ki kore ase, she wants to move on, some wrong has happened to her. Now, why don't we put ourselves in her shoes? She wants to go on, she wants to move on, but then when she walks out of the house, see, that's a mental state of affairs to kinika ase. Kili kumo monjawo, rape kushi kulibi. Aru kushi kulibi aru kumule monjai kulibi aru korman khanda bi rukhai de. Kushi kule, na? Ini bhabibi. Kali posudin tu kun sati korbo. Something like that. Well annoyed. What will she go through without social help? I mean, these are things that is happening. We should know that. And so each and every one of us will have a part to play to change our mindsets, and to help our society become a safer space for our women. Itu lang natin. Now, women police station representatives are here. I'm going to pull some, make many of you pull up your socks. Because we go from district to district, we can reports loy, one function itu ase, one inquire kore. We can summon and inquire, make inquiries and ask for documents people anywhere from anywhere in India. We can summon any Kanyakumari Rabi Mukhan Mati Bole Pare. Because we are assisted, it says that we will be assisted because we have just office staffs to do Mukhan na office kam to bole langa paperwork karne lagaye aside. So I will really genuinely for awareness, I will just read out something to you all that it says here in our powers that we can receive evidence on evidence. Okay, issue commission for evidence. Okay. While performing functions under Section 5 of this Act involving investigation and inquiry, the Commission shall have the power to, of a civil court, trial a suit, in particular, in respect of the following matters. Yes, civil cases kana digena ase yate laga. Itu laga-lagate itu conduct kurate. The Commission made for the purpose of conducting investigations and under this Act a function. Utilize the service of any officer of the state government with its prior approval. That is why we are also holding it to home. It will hold Kurani ide, so Moikan Naga, Kam Kuritia Manu, implementing agents Kanto, Yate Sop Hiase. Sop Yate Bueginasi, Inigala Hisate, Moikan Kam Kurigina Jai. Ijab Kurani Shina, Moikan itu Kurata ide. Mukhan laga mukhan awareness kami niga tiada inde, mukhan district kami niga kuri na jada inde, mukhan la women bodies kami logo de bishi, mukhan kuri thake, mukhan muta khan gini mate. Very thankful to DUCCF members and you're very supportive. Last time we taikane first position, ajibi wah iman bishi jon aishe, bishi kushi paise. कोई बात तो मैं क्या निकता प्रोग्राम अवेयरनेस लगा माता देते तो 4 जन आइशे प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करा देते एक जन नॉर्मल की नीति है चाहिए जैसे बोले माइकी बिशी हुआ नहीं देखी वाली why we say this, why we call our men is that men should be involved in this women's rights. Why? Because mutakan maiki laga rights na jane kushi kole to infringe kuri. Halbi rights to jane kushi kole to hey moi to kurishi kushi kole moi jail de jawo pare de na moi to nika kurishi kushi kole moi nika hobole pare de koi kena itu jani bolai lage aru itu jani she kushi kole chokra khan logote khuda korobole laga to baba khan he comfortable hoi chokra logote khuda korobole swali khan logote ase kushi kole amma khan he all free lage swali khan logote korobole de itu karone baba khan attend kurishe kushi kole to chokra khan ki hikabo to itu ase no lego ignorance of law is not an excuse na jane koi kena jail bitore kushi kena jail de aya moi to jana nai moi to guilty to crime ase le kushi kole it is not going to let you up get you out itu para itu karone moi han budai koi thake icha domestic violence as you all saw moi han the sisterhood network piece we kurishe also yate rape, sexual assault, harassment, itu kan lado. Ini ulushi could be so grievous that it comes up in the newspaper and all also like that. Domestic violence, so it happens inside the closed doors, within the four walls. Everyone thinks domestic violence is usually physical violence. Marpit, mari, kursi, domestic violence. Today I came across this. Now, FIR, DIR, lagabi kuishe. We think domestic violence hoye na police ke jaise bole to buta suspension hobo, teacher to bacha khan na fees kun tirabo na court table te kini ka khana anibo itu laga kurigina chakole mon nai. No, domestic violence to the civil law ase, right or not? You can avail, of course, in both ways, criminal also, because you can go for like bodily harm, grievous injury, all those things also. And you can go for redressal through the Domestic Violence Act laga lagati ase. One of the things megan domestic violence laga lagati itu kura lagate economic violence and emotional violence and verbal violence bishi ase de. Holbi amigan naiki kan itu rights na jane. Mogan bhabe itu ni ko atu lui thakibo na. It affects our head mentally, mentally affect grace. So we have so many cases of distressed women. Why? Consistently to verbal abuse to huni na jane. So economic abandonment, it's all there. It's all, everything is there. It all comes through domestic violence like a chain reaction as it to stop. So emotional violence, sexual violence, economic violence, all these things are there. Now in that thing, where we have, that's why I was asking District Protection Officer Asana Naik, you may agree, but I don't know whether you take care of this DIR, that is Domestic Incident Report. So you have tick boxes, right? You have tick boxes out there for like economic violence also. Not providing tick boxes can they report loido. That they can not providing money for maintaining you or your children and not providing food, clothes, medicines for you or your children. See. Case I should District Protection Officer get direct report globally para the domestic violence or direct to the magistrate para so forcing you out of the house you live in. Now we are looking here, this is Mahila Jansunwai to be heard for domestic violence, workplace harassment, maternity benefit abandonment, trafficking and other forms of gender-based injustice. So I'm talking about this gender-based injustice. How many times have you come across Amma Baba Morisha or Pai Rapini or Rehabilitation? That is forcing you out of the house you live in. Okay, see, that is domestic violence. Now, not allowing you to take up employment, Now, not allowing you to use clothes or articles of general household use. We have a case from one district where she was told to leave the house. So when I heard the case in that district, I asked for police protection for her to go and get her things. All her certificates, all her documents, everything is there. Papers lagi. See, all this is domestic violence. Please know. So then, selling not informing you and disposing of your property. This also we have another case when I was doing a round in one of the districts. Okay, I said that is domestic violence because ki hoishe mota morishe, mota to agi tumi maiki dakishe, mota morishe, ato dusra khan bi ase, she tai laga swali ekta ase. Now, tala swali ke tai porai ase. Ekta school ekta ke bhara di ase, manu school run kore ase. From there she is getting certain amount of rent. Mutala bhai bhai to bikri kori dishi without telling her. She was without now any income. How will she support her child's doctor's education also now? So, of course, Dobashi Court laga di niya muna jayegna ase, which the ruling Dobashi Court labi kodi na ase, status quo should be maintained. No one should sell the property kodi na bi ase. So we have asked further this thing. Kina kori na kiba korobo. Bikri kurishi eja kina man to wapas dibli bi noy to na. Kunma to poisa loi bishi do. So at least the fight should be that she should get her share. Now, so things like that, it is happening. It is very common. And why it is common? Because our customary laws are not gender friendly, not women friendly. Moi kan maiki kan, for example, in the Spimla mother case, earlier on also mama baba munta tu bishi muntu kaya chakra kuri thake kushi. What happened finally? Domestic violence got extreme. Mura basu de he so man kolishi. Otherwise we thought like it is their business, it's not my business. Tahan langa korla chamala sa mi lagan mo koi gina. Yeah. Yeah. See, and it will be happening in your families as well. It's okay, it's okay. So, yes, see, this they come out in the open and speak out. We keep it inside and not say, "Ami kan tu bhitor de rakhi kena duri da, naga mai kan tu ki misabo bishi." Rakhi bo pare de bhitor de. Holbi rakha time de na emotionally ki koi moi kan ki koi living dead. We become living dead. So these things are happening. And we see, we come to help you, and now we can get. So, when they come to us, it is like, resort, ekdom na pare, kuatan dehi jai. Duri gina rakhai gina na paratan dehi jai. The case of domestic violence, kushu kule moikan bhabe khati, ki koi, mutaro mai ki chagra kura itu nagai bhabe de moikan. The young basketball player going out in Uncle Bramis, that is also a shared household. That is also domestic violence gone extreme. You think? Ako dengan bhabi asa tay first time marry siya. Tay ge. Latik tao tay ge latik marry dia do. It first time asa bhabi. I doubt, but she's no more. Tay kuhu na marry ta last story. Sabi. And we are silent. Ami kan iman chupchap kuri na kuya sa thinking it is their problem, it is not our problem. Dusra jagah dito na, I studied in Delhi. Dusra jagah dito na, alo kana jor bijo, alo hala kuri should police ke phone guna mate ho. That is creating public nuisance. Actually, you can call police. I should go to chuppi hui jai do. Gulti kam kuri ase gulti na bhi jane do. Na. Our women helpline, child helpline, we can babi, muke kushi itu, yati kushi to, alag jaga bra phone kuri kina koi ase, apni kan naga swadi kan, apni kan naga bacha kan yati inga hoi kina se phasi kina se inga. Anyone can call those helplines. Victim ekta inga hoa tante, ko ti taratari phone kuri ba, phone dhura dikshi bula no, ek tapo kai taka dos tapo khawo, hoya no hai. Nishina. So we can call. Anyone can call. So it was it. And then another thing is why we also like moikan child lagati which kile judge girl child. If you see like women International Women's Day team like for women and girls child koi na kile mane aji taikan women ase aji girls ase taikan tali to women ase. So we try to do preventive measures to we try kore moikan. How? In the sense, moikan district te peratan de. Moikan, Assam and all and Dusra states have adopted this Prohibition of Child Marriage Act. Moikan Nagaland government do pura nai. They kili mani moikan Nagaland this child marriage he nai kore.
For this inaugural program of Mahila Jansunwai, I would like to say something from the part of the youth, from the youth here. First of all, we thank you all for inviting us, since it is also educating us regarding the safety of our women, which is very important. I myself, as a mother, I have a wife, I have a sister, I have a daughter. Their protection is important. We men sometimes we forget. But many a times I have also been coordinating with the Women Commission, some members, and also with our Naga Mother Association. So we know that the protection of women needs to be there. Now, even our Nagaland State Forensic Science Laboratory is also very big. That I think you guys have to pressure, because pressure has been given by civil societies. When we come for, especially for investigation, a lot of things that has been proved. And our FSL lab, we have a very big FSL lab here at Lake Jump. But the activeness of the lab is weak. And then coming back to the district court, which you, I said, is going to be collaborated. We're going to use some civil, cases here for women. That is also, we support you. We support, because it's very important. I will not say about the atrocities about women, because many has been going on, not only in Nagaland, but many places across the state. But here in Nagaland, we have a special act which was given to us under Article 371A. We have a customary. I would also encourage our women that time has changed and life has changed for everyone. Everyone is living in a very advanced the AI world, which is also very new to some new to people, but it's advancing. And we see activities is getting more shortcut. I think cases also is becoming more shorter than those previous years. Why I'm saying this about customary is because we see that, why I said about my mother, my wife, my sister, my daughter, we as men, we get properties for our family. Then after our death, there used to be a will. And sometimes the will has been challenged by the family also, by the brothers, by the cousins. See, it's the duty of Women Commission to try to make some arrangements where you can collaborate with the customary laws of the Nagas. When we call the Nagas, it's not only men that the constitutional right was given. You see the lines in Article 371 here. Is it written he or she? No, it's mentioned the Nagas. So I would like to encourage our women, especially our ladies from the Women Commission, to kindly look into it, because that's very important. I have some very close friends of mine. After their father passed away, the nephew, I will not mention, but I'll just give a brief story to everyone, so that everyone knows. The young nephew, he was actually, he left the house and stayed up with his mother. His mother got divorced. Not divorced exactly, mother could not stay with the family. Now, they don't have any lineage, so they had to bring the nephew back to the family. But it was often. Now he is claiming the entire legal right for the whole family, which is now subsidizing the rights of the mother, his grandfather, and also the entire daughters also. See, if this is going to continue, our society will not be a better place to live. Now for the UCC, I'm standing here and talking quite long. It's just my experience telling everyone. A lady here, she tried and God took her away. That's wrong. She should be staying here today. Her pain should be felt by everyone. We men should be knowing her pain. But anyway, she left. Because I wanted to encourage her. I wanted to give her support. Because we men, DUCCF, it consists of 97 colonies. If there is any thing happening in any colony, kindly come to the UCCF. We are most welcome. Don't go to any colony chairman because they may have a different mindset. Come to us. We will give them with a stick if you all want. We will support the woman. Before you hand over to the police, you give it to us. We will see what the man has done to our women. Because we respect our women. The society is built by women, not by men. Man is just like that, woman is like that. So, we would like to say, we don't want to be so harsh, but we would like to say that we support the Women Commission. We support our Naga Women of Home. We support all the legal, because of them things are getting, getting settled. So we support our police. So there are so many things that we have to understand that we are so grateful that you all have called us. Because one honor, we will not go back and then tell ourselves this and that, okay? That you don't mind. But more programs like this, we're always there to support you all. And if you find anything happen in any colony, anything, under 97 colonies, please feel free to call us. We are there to the police, cannot do one word. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for this time. Thank you.
I would like to make a clarification here a little bit. When Women Commission there, it was from the time of our former chairperson, from the very first, Madam Sanovamozo, time price about ancestral, about inheritance rights. I've been working on that. Then in the middle, unfortunately, the 32% reservation pitode matuti kusijai gila itu di man focus korogole na para nishina ujaise. But then rounds khan korigina ila korigina government no to approach kora tande. The government said ki koi aro top sala time ra pura district ka job korigina itu awareness spread korigina teshna le top sala time de ina korigina the government ra question that we have to get from our tribal tax body host 75% para NOC anibole lage. Then they made think question because we are talking about a daughter's right to her parental acquired property. Baba ama bra nijo kamai bra kamal laga kina laga the daughters can be rights thaki bolage kile mane judi ja baba ma thaki se jinda time de aro mori jaise koshi bole khali swali khali taki chule dusra ko manu khani loi niga ase cases kan ase moi khani niga aro I can give tigina, but that topic banagina, my own neighbor also, they had to face undue harassment to go to court also because they say like traditionally we can adi we can globally nai we can test people, but that top takigina bi inga case kan tiya ina ase takishe. Aro inga huade like sometimes ki koi baba amakan tekan means muta pori jaise koshi bole mai ki bi ghorba kiba kori dia la case bi ase social kan kiba logode chokra nai koshi bole do itu karone I think because of that very law we also women we really desire sons. Okay hoina nohoy chokra thakishi bole ta security nishina ekta bi hoi jai de tala bhini khan nimi de nai nimi de. No, we have had these cases of abandonment also. Ase, we ase, and then Mahila Commission to be our topmost priority is not disclosing identity, privacy maintain kore de Mahila to kare mohana case kan kimani ninga ase to kare does not go age de. Okay, itu lagate Mahila ija pa de inha anishe. Luckily from 12 tribal bodies, we have got the NOC, and then our because we want from everyone, even though, and then the government is accepted in the sense they're drafting now as to how it should go about. And let's see whether the same of it, whether they will accept it or not. And we are trying to do that. For all our women and our daughters, we are also trying. But at the end of the day, we do need review of our customary laws because itu hukum upor pai ka nahi na. I wish motan laga because these are laws which our forefathers and sisters they made to suit that time, you know. But we are still holding on to those laws. Even the written constitution, like the Indian constitution, is being amended time and again. You know, changing with time. But moi kan to time de korishe to time de boi kina ase. So when I was in Oka, I asked we have a case of divorce. Tostaka tigina divorce diya laga. So I asked, "Kicha banaishi to tostaka diya laga to kuntu salve." Is it in like the 1990s and all like I mean like the the last century, this century or last century? Nah, itu to pahla, pahla, sisters kala itu value those habina. The 10 rupees would have been in terms of lakhs. That is such beautiful law which our sisters made. That is maintenance. Iman to bhabi di kina kurbana ase. Hobi moi kan na mogos to nai de gowe. Kile mane tai kan to iman muja mogos bhabi kina law set kora da. Duri kina chai ase. So we need to review our customary laws because everything we have to go back to the village for that. Because even if you think about Nagamai Mohobi, Gobi, Kibi, Gobi, tribal epics, Kodis, Gobi, Jamoi, House, and then Shinabi, Gobi, also in they refer to the villages. They have nominated members from the villages, representatives of the village. If all they agree, then only some resolution is passed. So at the end of the day, we go to the villages. Our within transformation from within is much more better than being imposed from outside or what has happened. That's what we did. 33% reservation now we lost 2 lives also. As not able to take the kum from outside. So this kind of things we really need to do some review of our customary laws. It's a high time. And we women, we should start demanding from our men because at the end of the day, I always say that there are Naga Khando, we are all different. She is wearing a different alak or dress, alak, khana, alak, ayani, shiva, alak, kunibar, it's not alak, no, I don't know. Only thing common about our Nagas is that we are not allowed inside the council halls and we have no right to inheritance. The commonness comes from women. Okay. And also custody of our children. Like you will buy, meaning, what does it mean? I wonder. Like you will So all these things, if the monarchs like US, UK, first born to Mikey will be crown to the party like a queen. When I know it, man to change going and I should have manhandled. We're still stuck. We have to work. And we have to work, everyone has to work together on this. This may be our last year, God knows, because we have been very vocal.
You have the urban channels behind you.
Okay.
So we are the urban people. Okay. We are the urban customary people. So no problem. Yes.
Thank you, and we're very happy to hear that you have our support. Like we said, when we talk about women's rights, it's not about being anti-men, but just prizing of our rights and working together for the general upliftment of our women. And in our culture, in our traditions, we have always been taught not to inconvenience. We teach our daughters not to inconvenience. They cry, no, it's a little inconvenience, so we excuse ourselves. So we've been taught like that. But we also have to teach our sons to not cause the inconvenience to other people. So it should be both. We have to teach not just our daughters, but also our men. And then for that, we need involvement of both men and women in our rights, like Ma'am has suggested. It's not just the men, but it is also the mothers and women that sometimes perpetuate this attitude that goes on. But in any case, after this, we are coming to the end of